Welcome everybody to SnakePrinceVlogs. It is December 29th, so New Year's Eve is tomorrow, which means, you know, 2022 is on the way, New Year's. And around this time, I see a lot of inspirational stuff on social media, but I also see a long plethora of memes, quotes, and cynical, pessimist things like, oh my gosh, we're gonna hear a bunch of New Year, new me's. Oh my gosh, people are gonna say New Year, new me and start resolutions and it never gets done. You know the assholes of the internet. And there is a bit of truth in some of what they're saying, but I don't think it's as big as people make it out to be, because as for me and people I know in my life, when we set intentional resolutions or intentional goals, oftentimes we get it done. And sometimes we get it done not having a game plan. Like a lot of stuff that I set for 2021 at the beginning of the year, I got done and then some. And I see a lot of people be so cynical, especially when it comes to people going into the gym, saying I'm gonna lose weight, or I'm gonna stop drinking, or I'm gonna stop doing drugs, stuff like that. A lot of those cynical, mean memes and quotes go towards them. Like, oh my gosh, the gym is about to be packed January 1st, but then by March it'll be back empty. Like, I get it, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be on the internet. Like, some of y'all need to just calm the fuck down. You're not as superior as you think you are. But I have been looking over goals for the year, intentional goals for 2022, and I must say that I'm not going to be saying New Year, new me. I'm going to be saying New Year, old me. And it might sound weird, it might sound backwards, it might sound off, but hear me out. I get it, we're not supposed to live in the past. We're supposed to live in the present. We're supposed to live for now, today. And I'm all for that. We should. And we should also, be hopeful and optimistic about the future. But I do want to take a step back in the past to improve and reach my goals for 2022 and beyond. And what I mean by that, and I know it doesn't make sense right now, but what I mean by that is I've been doing a lot of thinking throughout this entire year, and one thing I do miss is the old me, in a way. Now, what I mean by that, bear with me, the old me. When I say New Year, old me, I want to go back to the time where I was very, very happy, very healthy. At the time of my life where I was the most healthiest. I was happy, I was of sound mind. I had my depression and anxieties under control. It was never cured, but it was under control and manageable to live with. And that was between the years of 2014, 2015, and 2016. Slight 2013, but not really. And what I mean by that is that 2012, for those who know me personally and know my story, 2012 was the year that I tried to trigger warning in my life. And I've gone through a very traumatic experience, but I survived it, thank God. And so 2012 was a very sad, depressing moment for me. In 2013 was all about recovery. It was all about therapy. I checked myself into a mental hospital. And then after that, I did tons and tons of counseling. I slowly started getting into the gym. And 2013 was more of a recovery, rehab type of year for me. So, toward the end of 2013 into 2014, and then all of 2015 and 2016 were like the best years of my life. I was at my most healthiest. I had a healthy living routine. I had a healthy workout routine, had a healthy diet. I was cooking my meals. I was at my most happiest. I was at my most social, and I'm not a social person. I'm an introvert through and through, but when it comes to introverts being social, having friends, and you know, going out and living life on their terms, like still being an introvert, still having solitude time, but not being afraid to step out and have new experience. That was me 2014 to 2016. I was at my most happiest. I was at most peace of mind, sound mind, clarity. It was when I first started getting into reptiles. I had got my first snake around 2015. It was just, those years were the best 3 years of my life, inwardly and outwardly. I was just so, I loved me. I loved myself. I had the most utmost confidence in myself, and I want to get back to that. So when I say new year, old me, I want to get back to that version of who I was, because the version who I was before 2014 was not a good version, not a good person, the most depressed, the most angry, the most volatile, and at that time I wasn't diagnosed with my mental disorder, so I did not know that was what was the cause of it. That was the outlook. I was just a cynical, mean asshole. And then after 2016, you know, my grandparents, both my grandparents health started declining, and then we lost them back-to-back years. My grandma passed away first, and then my granddaddy a year to the day, or a year to the week right after her. And my depression just went so downhill after that, to where I let myself go. I stopped caring, and the old version of me, you know, 2012 me came back, to where I was more suicidal, more angry, more cynical, more hateful, did not care about anybody, did not care about myself, did not care about life. You know, that version of me came back in full force, and I just pretty much let myself go all through and through, from career to personal life to friendships. I let friendships go, you know, and it wasn't like traumatic, like drama. It's just, I just stopped communicating with people, and I stopped letting people in, and I stopped hanging out, and I stopped reaching out to people, texting people, calling people, to where, you know, I know my friends love me and I know they care about me, but I stopped putting in the effort to continue those friendships and let those friendships flourish and grow, because I just stopped caring about everything. I stopped caring about everything. My life, I did not care anymore. You know, after 2016 to now, 2016, 2017 to now, it's about to be 2022, and I'm so sick of this version of me. I'm so sick of myself. I'm so sick of the person that I allowed myself to become after I lost my heroes, my guardian angels, my grandparents. And it wasn't just their deaths back to back that caused this. It was a whole plethora of things that caused this, but those were the main catalysts of when I just said, you know, fuck it, fuck the world, who cares? And you know, it's been a lot. But ever since 2020, 2022, ever since 2020 and 2021, and all the events that happened and transpired between these past couple of years, I just been thinking, I miss the old me. I miss the me that was happy, the more healed me. And again, there is no cure for depression, anxiety, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, but there is ways to live with it and manage it in a healthier way. Well, you know, if you use the tools given to you by therapy, exercise, you know, healthy foods, feeding your body healthy, having a good support system, a good inner circle, friends, family, your chosen family, having good people around you. You know, those mental illnesses, those mental issues can be managed. And so I want to get back to the old me. I want to get back to the 2014 through 2016 me. That me was so happy, so healed, so whole, and I loved myself, and I was happy and proud of myself, and I had a healthier system, a healthier, consistent schedule, life, you know. Now it's just, I go to work, I come home, I go to work, I come home. Yes, I do little things here and there, especially when it comes to my photography business and my reptile business, but I don't have a social life. Like I said, I let my friendships go by the wayside. I stopped working on them, because guess what? They say relationships, like romantic relationships, is hard work and a lot of work. Managing and keeping friendships as adults is hard work, because guess what? A lot of my best friends have families. They're married. They have kids. They have responsibilities. So you have to put in work and put in time in your friendships to, you know, so they can continue to grow and continue to sustain itself. And when you don't do that, when you don't take the time to spend time with your friends, even if it's just go out to get coffee for a day, you know, when you stop doing it, even if it's just text saying, hey, I just want to check and see if you're all right, you know, I just let all that go. Like I said, I just stopped caring about everything, about myself, about the people in my life. And I don't like that version of me. I don't like that part of me. And so this next year, the only intentional resolutions I have is revolving around getting back to the old me. So if that means going back to the gym, good. Let's go back to the gym. It's been years. Well, 2020, I did a lot of virtual 5Ks, but it's been since 2019, 2019, I have not ran a single 5K in person. I have not done a single 10K in person. I haven't done a half marathon since 2018, and it's about to be 2020. So I want to get back to actual doing races again. I want to get back to where I really liked it when I was cooking my own meals. I'll go grocery shopping, buy salmon or whatever, because I was pescatarian at that time. I stopped eating, red meats and chicken. It was strictly just fish and vegetables. That's all I was eating. And I was actually feeling very good, very healthy, and I loved it. I had a lot of energy. So I want to get back to that. And as I've been growing my business and growing my creative life, as a photographer, as a videographer, things like that, I've been, I just been doing a lot of thinking, and I feel like I could exceed and excel business-wise if I get back to the old me, if I get back and center myself, because I was at my sharpest. Mentally, I was at my sharpest. I was at my most creative. I could come up with so many different concepts for photography and stuff. It was just, but now it's just like, it's a brain fog. It's like I lost my touch. I lost my mojo. I lost my magic. So I want to get back to the magic, man. I want to get back to just, I'm grateful for the life I have right now. I'm grateful for the job I have, the secure job with, guaranteed money coming in and guaranteed, health insurance and stuff like that. But I know there's more. I know that there's more, and I'm so happy and grateful for my animals, my snakes and my dog. I did lose my lizard, Moonlight, RIP, this year in 2021, and it was very heartbreaking. But I love my animals. I'm grateful. I'm not complaining at all. But I feel like if I'm at my best, if I'm at my sharpest, I'm at my strongest, if I'm at my most healed, centered self, I can be a way more better keeper to my animals. Like, I could be a way better business person, business owner, entrepreneur, if the inner me is back to its old healed self, back to what it used to be at its core, because when your mind is right and your body is right, everything just seems to fall into place a lot better. Was I making a lot of money between those years, 2014 through 2016? No, I was working at Target. The money was okay, but the hours were not guaranteed. We made big money during the holiday season, but after that, come January 1st, back to working 2 or 3 days a week and barely paying the bills. You know what I'm saying? But even though I was struggling bills wise, money wise, I was at my most happiest. It was like I didn't care that I worked retail at that time. I was happy. I was happy. I was grateful. I was, like I said, I was always at the gym. I was running 5Ks and 10Ks and half marathons. I was social. Even as an introvert, you know, I still made time for my friends and my family. And I just want to get back to the old me. So, you know, I know that the world always preach, stop looking at the past. The past is gone. It's not coming back, which is true. Don't look at the past too much. Don't stay in the past. Sometimes the past can cripple you. But I do feel like the past is also a great place to go back to lessons learned. The past is a great place to go back to happy memories. The past is a great place to go back and say, hey, what did I do back then that worked, that I could continue to do now, or that I can go back to doing, you know, whatever activities, whatever I was doing back then that actually worked, that were actually good, that was actually positive in my life. Let me go back and do that again, but continue it, like don't stop. And it will make now, this moment today, better. I feel like it's okay to do that. You know, just don't stay in the past. Don't let the past cripple you. But it's okay to go back in the past, to look at lessons learned, to look back at happy memories, and to see, hey, what did I do back then that worked? Because we always, when we're talking about lessons learned, when they talk about, you know, learning from mistakes, you know, yes, we should always learn from our mistakes. That way we never do those mistakes again. But let's learn from our successes too. Don't just let our lessons be about the mistakes. Let our lessons be about, also sprinkle in lessons learned that were successful. Like, hey, I did this back then. I did this during this time last year, and it worked, and it was successful, and it was great. So let me continue to do that. I think that works as well. So if you're one of those people who are making New Year's resolution and you're saying new year, new me, great. I root for you. I believe in you. You can do it. If you feel like you need to make yourself better, make yourself newer, to become a whole heal you, to make you a better person, and to help improve your life and your family's lives, great. New year, new you. Do it. I believe in you. I'm not like these cynical assholes on the internet saying that you're full of shit. I believe in you. Go make it happen. Make sure it's a smart plan, but make the plan and make it happen. Put it to work. But if you're like me and you're saying, hey, there were some parts of me back then that I used to do, but I no longer do anymore. I don't want to go back to doing that because it was actually a positive in my life. You're also valid. So whether you're a new year, new me, or a new year, old me, or a new year, current me, I'm just gonna, you know, what I'm doing right now is great, and I'm just gonna stick to that and not change anything. You're valid too. Everybody is valid. Whatever your goals and your resolutions are this year, make it work, make it happen. And just remain positive and optimistic. I know it's easier said than done. Trust me. You're listening to a person who's living with depression, PTSD, and anxiety. You know, it's easier said than done to not be pessimistic and to be more optimistic. But I implore you to take it one step at a time, one day at a time. You know, if all you do is step in the gym one time a week, do that. If all you do is, if you're a photographer like me, if all you do is just take one picture 1 week, one new picture 1 week, that's all you do, then do it. But do something that's positive that will help improve your goals. Take it 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 step at a time. And before you know it, December 2022 will be upon us, and we will look back and say, did I complete my goals? Did I not? What did I complete? What lessons were learned? And I think if you're intentional and you take it 1 day at a time and you don't do these grand big plans, you just do like one tiny goal, one little increment at a time, you know, small steps. I think by the end of 2022, the new year, we will all be surprised at the progress that we make. Anyways, I know this video is long, but I just had this thought in my head and I needed to get it out. I'm not editing this video. This is gonna be a long ass video, but I don't care. I love y'all. Happy New Year, happy holidays. I hope your holidays was great. Enjoy your family, your friends, your chosen family, whatever, your animals, for all my reptile and animal keeping people. Enjoy this year and enjoy this year, the next year. Look, if one thing COVID has taught me is to be grateful for every day you're given. Be grateful for every day you've given, because a lot of people did not make 2021. A lot of people who said Happy New Year to us January 2021 did not make it to Thanksgiving, did not make it to Christmas, you know. So let's just all be grateful for the time that we have, and for the time that we have, let's take it one step at a time. Happy New Year's. I love y'all. Peace.